So Laserforce is opening in the town centre of Northampton, and we are here with a special chappie, Warwick Davis. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, good. Glad to be here.
So how did you get involved with today?
Well, I've known Sue and Martin, who own Laserforce, for some years now. I opened the branch in Peterborough, which is near where I live, and then their branch in Leicester, and now this is the third branch, which is bigger and better than both the others. Just had to walk around it, and it's huge. I mean, you know, people will be lost in there. There'll be missing persons. You go in there and you'll find them. I mean, it's a huge arena, lots of cool places to hide and then shoot people from. I mean, it's really, really good.
So if you're up for losing your children, bring them to Laserforce, right?
Absolutely. You may find me still in there in several weeks' time. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's good for all ages as well. My kids are 8 and 14. They love it. But whenever we've had parties at Laserforce, all the mums and dads come along and they all want to join in as well. So it's something for everybody. You know, it brings out the child, certainly in me.
So you're a busy boy at the moment, I understand. Tell me about the new show with Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I've done a show called Life's Too Short, which is a sitcom for BBC Two, due to start early November on BBC Two. And it's really exciting. I mean, Ricky and Stephen were fabulous directors. It's a really funny show. I'm really proud of it. And it's a fake documentary that tells the story of a fake Warwick Davis. So he's not exactly like me. He's got a huge ego, if you can imagine that. And he's fame hungry, and his life is in crisis. His career's gone down the pan, and he's trying to get back on top. And has invited a documentary to follow him as he lives out his life and career. And things don't go that well, to everyone else's amusement except his. but it's really fun. 7 episodes, and I hope people like it. I'm really proud of it, and we're excited about it. And I've just been told the first trailer goes on BBC Two after Nevermind the Buzzcocks on Monday. So if you want to see 40 seconds of Life's Too Short, you can catch it there. And there's loads of stuff on the web as well at the moment, lots of little teaser bits and stuff that Ricky's put out.
Yeah, I was having a nose on your website earlier, so give these guys your websites, they can check it out.
It's warwickdavis.co.uk. You can find out all about me, and you can get copies of my book signed and all sorts of things like that. It's quite interesting. Also on Twitter as well, at Warwick A. Davis, D-A-V-I-S.
And the at's important. Don't just put in Warwick Davis. At.
You won't find me. And there is another person called Warwick Davis, so you have to stick the A in the middle, Warwick A. Davis. That's the real me. And you'll notice it's the real me because my little Twitter picture is a picture of me, Ricky and Stephen, but with their heads on my body. So it's certainly unique.
So how was it working with Ricky? Was it fun?
It was fun. I mean, he's a funny man. I mean, there was a lot of fun on set, but they're just both brilliant directors and writers, and we've had some scenes together as well, and they're great actors. So yeah, I've got nothing but great things to say about them. But he likes to wind you up as well. I mean, he had me dressed as a frog at one point, which is out there on the internet, and it was nothing to do with Life's Too Short. That is just because we had some time and a camera and a frog outfit. So it's called A Froggy Day in London. That was.
That sounds brilliant. So today we put out on Twitter about asking some questions to you and to our Facebook followers as well. So I've got a few here, if that's okay. So the first one is from Susan from Wellingborough, and she said, what's been the favourite character that you've played so far?
Well, Susan, that's a difficult question to answer. I mean, I suppose Wicket the Ewok was the first character I ever played in Return of the Jedi when I was 11. So I'm really fond of him, and people still, you know, appreciate that character and talk to me about Star Wars, even, you know, 30 years on from it. So that would be one. I'm not going to be able to specify just one character. Willow also was another kind of a landmark role for me because it was the first time I'd acted without being hidden behind a mask. And again, another one of those movies that people on a daily basis say, I love that movie, I grew up with it, or I showed it to my kids or my grandkids or what have you. So it's one of those movies people kind of, they like to pull out the drawer and watch. Harry Potter, Professor Flitwick, I mean, a few characters in there, Flitwick, Grip Hook in the more recent Deathly Hallows Part 2. I mean, there's a few. I mean, the character I play in Life's Too Short, the Warwick Davis in there, he's a dream role for me because it's comedy, and he does and says all the things that I wouldn't dare do in real life. So it was quite liberating.
I can imagine. So we've then got, okay, Paul from Northampton wants to know, have you ever had an on-screen kiss?
No, you know, I haven't. No. I can't reach. That's the problem. It's a bit like that. So, no, I haven't. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really sort of rom-com material, though, particularly. But I don't know, maybe people see me differently now. But no, never had the on-screen kiss. I don't know whether it'd be embarrassing a bit.
I could imagine it'd be a little bit embarrassing. What if you didn't fancy them as well? What if you really couldn't?
That would be bad, wouldn't it? That would be bad. I mean,
close your eyes.
That's what acting's about, isn't it? Sort of
pretending you fancy them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It'd be a stretch, though, wouldn't it? I don't know. So, yes, the answer to that is no, I haven't.
Okay. And John in Kettering says, was it really hot wearing the Ewok outfit?
You know what, John in Kettering, that's the most frequently asked question I get. And you'd think the answer would be fairly obvious, wouldn't you? I mean, you could have answered that yourself, surely. You know, I'm covered in a layer of foam padding, then some fur, sealed up, then you pop a head on top with no air holes. What do you think? I mean, to be fair, I mean, that costume, after wearing it for 2 months, it could walk around without me in it. So, does that answer your question?
Did they have Febreze back then?
Did they have what?
Febreze.
Well, no, they didn't. This was back in the early 80s. I mean, they didn't have anything. I mean, I don't know what they did with it, but but luckily, I mean, you know, 11 years old, I didn't really mind the heat. I could just keep on going. You know, and the eyes would mist up. You couldn't see where you were going. You know, it's a wonder Ewoks could even do anything, to be honest. It was a difficult costume to work in.
Warwick, it's an absolute pleasure meeting you. Good luck today. I hope the people in Northampton don't beat you and you come out on top.
Well, I'll do my best. I mean, they're in there now. I'll just sort of sneak in and cower in a corner and shoot a few people sneakily.
Wonderful to meet you. So, Warwick Davis for TVNorthants.
So much more to do. I'll ask Warwick if you would open the
Thank you.
for us.
No, it's really a pleasure to be here. I've known Sue and Martin now for a few years. They've got another branch of Laserforce in Peterborough and one in Leicester, and now this one, which is bigger and better than the other two. I certainly think, having walked around it just now. No, it's great. I'm a big fan of this because having been in some sci-fi films, the first sci-fi film I was in was when I was 11 years old, Return of the Jedi, and so kind of doing this sort of thing here was kind of what I did when I was 11, but I was fighting real stormtroopers in the redwood forests of Northern California for the film. But it's exciting to kind of be able to sort of relive that type of experience in Northampton, of all places. So, so without further ado, I know you're all anxious to have a go, and I'm not that good, whatever mine says. My daughter Annabelle's actually a lot better than I am, but I'll be cowering in the corner, so don't shoot me. Yeah, let's go ahead and declare Laserforce Northampton open.
What a wonderful, wonderful guy Warwick is. Who would have thought that a person that's played so many recognisable characters over the years would be right here in Northampton? So kids, if you fancy getting away from your parents, or parents, if you fancy getting away from your kids, make sure you come right down here to Laserforce in Seoul Central. It's open right now and fun for all of the family. Also, make sure you go onto Warwick's website, check him out, follow him on Twitter, add him on Facebook, and even buy his book if you fancy it. I'm Carly Wilford, and this is TVNorthants.